Okay, this is Dr. Williamson going over how to calculate standard deviation from a series of measurements. In the previous short video, I went over what standard deviation meant in brief. Now I'm going to go over how to calculate it. The standard deviation is the square root of the sum of the square of the differences divided by n minus 1. This X bar is the average. And let's say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 measurements. 6.70, 8.30, 5.90, 6.00, 7.40. To get the average, I add them up. Remember, when you do adding and subtracting, you go to the least number of decimal places. These went to 2 decimal places, so I add them up to get 34.30. And then to average that, I divide by the number of measurements. So I divide by 5. Now, when I multiply and divide with sig figs, I go to the least number of sig figs. This is 34.30. That's 4 sig figs. 5 is a counted number because I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 measurements. So that's exact. So I go to 4 sig figs, 6.860. Now I have to calculate the square of the differences. So I'm going to go 6.70, that's this measurement right here, minus 6.860, square that, and I do that, and I get 0.0256. 8.30 minus 6.860 squared, it's going to be 2.0736. This one is going to be 0.9216. 6.00, that's this measurement, minus this, and then you square it, is 0.7396. This one's 7.4 minus 6.860 is going to be 0.2916. There, I've done all the x minus x bar squared. Now I have to sum them up, add them up. So I get my calculator. 0.0256 plus 0.0256 plus 0.0256 plus 2.0736 plus 0.9216 plus 0.7396 plus 0.2916. That gives me 4.052. Now I have to divide by n minus 1. N is the number of measurements. That's 5. So I'm going to go 4.052 divided by 5 minus 1. So it's 4.052 divided by 4. That's going to give me 1.013. Then I have to take the square root of that. So I take the square root of that, and I get the standard deviation is the square root of 1.013. And that is equal to 1.006. That means if I have a bell curve distribution, my average is 6.860. And my standard deviation this way is going to be 1.006 above. So it'd be 6.860 plus 1.006. One standard deviation below would be 1.006. So that would be 6.860 minus that, and so on. Okay. So that's how you calculate standard deviation from a series of measurements. And I hope that helps you understand how to do it. Okay, then.